1, 2. What is up, Brett? Dude, good to hear from you again. Glad to see that you're out here crushing it over at Jefferson, bro. This is Garrison, by the way. And so we're going to have you go on to number 1, the back leg attractor. The co-contraction of muscles around your back hip. Let's see if you got it. I don't know if you can hear this in the background. Some guys are about to do a velo day out here. So, let's see. Hopefully that brings back some memories, huh? From the summer. Okay, so co-contraction of muscles around the back hip. I honestly don't think you co-contract because right here, you just keep sinking down and down and down, and it's almost like you're trying to get too much into your glute. There's a lot of muscle slack going on in there, brother, so I'm going to give you a yellow. Could be worse, but there has to be a point where, and we'll look at it over here on this video, I want you to see how you just keep sinking down further and further and further. Go here. You start there, and you just sink down that way. It almost seems like as if you're getting really squatty with it. You know, maybe that's where we need to find some type of optimal stance and maybe not even preset your leg as much. But it looks like you're just squatting down to me versus actually like riding it out. Okay? So counter rotation is the next one. Do you counter rotate? No, you don't. You're green. Do you shift to the ball of foot prematurely? Your foot here actually kind of shifts around a little bit, which is why it makes me lead to believe that there's not much co-contraction going on there. Could just be the shitty mound too. I don't know. But you do not prematurely come up on the ball of your foot, so you're green. Now, quality of your pelvic tilt, you do have pelvic tilt here and there, so you're good there, big dog. You're green. Now, your direction of load, we want you to go towards home plate this way. Not have anything else going anywhere awry, and your load is going that right way. You're good. You are green. Is your butt behind your heel? It is behind your heel. So you're green. Is your back knee forward of your toe? Right here. This might be actually where we're getting at. See how your knee actually leaks this way towards your toe versus if it would stay here, it just comes straight down this way and drive open that front leg, then I think it would actually be better. Whereas here, you kind of like sink down into it and let your knee cave forward. So I'm going to give you a yellow, like it's not super far forward, but I think that's where the problem is. Okay? Now we're going to go to the lead leg attractor. Let me delete some of these lines here. Okay. Now we're going to, does the lead leg open early? And right here, it's kind of reaching a little bit. And then your legs open there. It's not terrible. It's like a yellow-green. All right, now do you have foot plant from above? Yeah, big dog, you do. That's good. So you're green there. Do you have lead leg co-contraction? So when you hit, does it everything co-contract? It does. But there's no negative Y force there, like you're still bent. And there's no clawback until here at the end. So for the negative Y purpose, I'm going to give you, really, I would actually, yeah, that would be like a yellow-red, honestly, to me. Because look, when you extend there, you should be doing that here. So that's kind of delayed. Okay. Does your front knee leak forward? Doesn't leak, but it stays bent there, and there's no ground reaction force coming back up this way. All right. So you're green on the leakage. Does it wobble laterally? Let's draw a line right here. So it lands. Oh, let's see. Look. So you're landing, and then it wiggles over to this side. So that is another thing that could be leaking some velo. Okay. All right. Now for the throwing arm retractor, remove muscle slack. Do you still got that acromial line there, like that? How it's going straight behind. Hopefully you're not feeling tender in the front part of your shoulder anymore. But like you said in your email, you're only like a 0 to 2, so that's good. I mean, as long as I'll give you a yellow for the acromial line. I mean, even though it is pretty bad, but if it comes back once you hit final connection here, and it seems like it does, then I'm okay with it. Just make sure if you do start to get some of that anterior or the front of your shoulder, you get some pain there. Just be careful with that, okay? All right. And then do you have pronated takeaway? So you go behind the acromial line here, and you're kind of pointing that ball over towards second base. But once you hit final connection again, you kind of correct it all. So I'll give you a green. Now, do you have inverted W? No. Do you have elevated distal humerus? No. So you're green. Do you have forearm flyout? No, it's inside 90, so you're good. And then, like this summer, we were working on some forearm play a little bit. And it looks like you're cleaned up there, big dog. It's not bad. And it's starting to go back as you're rotating now. So that's good, dude. You definitely got that better. All right. Off to the glove side. So do we see it retract back a little bit? Yes, right in here and there. That is good. Does it co-contract, meaning do you have like some tension right there on that glove side? Yeah, I'd say you do. Now, a new one that we have now is, does your hand freeze in space, which actually gives us a result of how you're using your abdominals. And your hand is kind of moving around there. If you did it correctly, it would stop as you rotate, and it would show that you're using your abdominals correctly. So I'm going to give you yellow there. That's not something that you necessarily have to consciously think of. It's more of just a result of all of this being in sequencing and timing together. And I think if we think about maintaining that iron pyramid and getting co-contraction back here and start to use some of that front leg at the right timing and sequencing, then that should take care of it. All right, now we're going to go to the trunk retractor. Early torso rotation at final connection. You're here. No, it's mainly your hips there, so you're good, you're green. Is your chest out while you're rotating? Yeah, you're getting a little bit of volume there. But it seems like most of it's coming from your hips, not a whole lot from the T-spine there. So I'll give you a yellow-green. Your hips do rotate before your shoulders, as we saw here. Your hips are there. Shoulders are still back, so you're green. Do you have a lateral postural disconnect? And I think this has to do with when your lead leg is wobbling a little bit to the side. So you're rotating, you want to rotate around this axis here, and you start to go right here. You want to rotate around this, but as you can see, you're kind of leaning. This bigger. You lean over towards the first base side. So I'm going to give you yellow on lateral postural disconnect. Mainly just think about having a pull straight down through your spine, and you're rotating around that, all right? Next one you got is the hip rotation attractor. So are you rotating to that pinky toe? It's a nice little result of that. And it looks like you are, so you're green there. Does your trail hip reach parallel to the lead hip? It does. So you're green. And do you get to late launch? It actually looks like you release it either right at your foot. It's kind of hard to tell with the frames. Right at your foot or just slightly in front. So I'm going to give you a yellow there. And I think if you get this front leg stiffened up, not let it wobble off to the left or right, then that could actually help you get around further. Okay. Now we're going to go to decel. Does your shoulder, does your forearm pronate, and does your shoulder internally rotate? Looks like you got it there. It's green. Does your arm stay loose and bent through the throw? Looks like it straightens out right in here, so that might give you some back shoulder. So I'll give you a yellow there. Just give me a little bit of flexion in your arm there. It doesn't have to be, like 90 degrees or anything specific, but just something to dissipate that energy and not have to put all that stress right here on the back of your shoulder. And your shoulders do trade places though, so that's good. And you are rotating around that front hip. So you're green on that. And does this cross the midline? Does your arm cross the midline? It does not. You're green. Do you have any late bang on the shoulder there? Yeah, it's good. It's mostly from this right here. And if you just try to keep it a little bit flexed, it'll take away some of that stress back there. All right, big dog? So, with that being said, I know you're in fall season right now. You're playing games on the weekend. Probably not a good idea to velo push, but if you're still doing some of the weighted balls and things like that, just do those 2 days a week during your connection days, and maybe even back off on the volume a little bit if you're seeing your volume or your velo tick down. So maybe just do like the week 1 or week 2 and stick with that for a while. At this point in your training, man, you really just have to go off of feel and what you think works best for you. We can try to go to a continuing weighted ball program, but really there's not a whole lot of benefit there to it. It's just another stimulus to throw at you. So just keep doing that for the 2 days for the connection, and I'll send you your new cycle and throwing drills. And if you can, I want to see if there's a net that you can get. I'm going to try to see if you can throw uphill some up this mound to try to work on that front leg to get it from wobbling out to the left and the right, okay? So I'll put that in the notes as well. All right, buddy, keep crushing it.